A selection of different types of Egyptian objects here. We have a limestone flake with a sketch scene on it of the god Osiris. We have a palette for grinding coal. We have a funerary figurine and faience and a block statue with the inscription of the owner here, and also a funerary cone. This is something that would be inscribed or set into the architrave over New Kingdom tomb chapels. But this is the interesting one. This is a first intermediate period stela, so think about 2000 BCE or so, belonging to a man named Ituerneheh. And right off you can see it's got a kind of coarse provincial sort of look. This is the way Egyptian art appeared when the country fragmented. So after the end of the Old Kingdom or Pyramid Age, you got this kind of provincial looking art. Hieroglyphs a little bit unevenly spaced, big faces, not so sophisticated in the carving. But the interesting history here is the modern history. George Reisner was excavating at a site called Naga Adair in Upper Egypt, and he was at this site for many, many years. But his professor, the founder of this museum, David Gordon Lyon, came out to visit Reisner at one point. And after the visit, he went to Cairo to try to acquire objects. You could buy them in antiquities dealer shops in those days legally. And he went to one dealer shop, and the dealer said, "I have this stela from the excavations of George Reisner." Lyon said, "What? How is this possible?" And he fired off a cablegram up the Nile to Reisner at Naga Adair and said, "This dealer says he's got one of your pieces." Reisner wrote back and said, "Nonsense, couldn't come from my excavations. Take one of my Egyptological colleagues," because David Gordon Lyon was no Egyptologist. "Take one of my colleagues to the dealer shop and he'll look at it with you and decide whether it's a forgery or what's happening." So they did, and it does turn out to be a genuine piece, and very possibly from the site of Naga Adair that Reisner was excavating, but it probably came out with illicit digging or some of the local Egyptians who had gotten hold of this piece before Reisner was working there. Anyway, Reisner thanked his former professor Lyon for checking up and checking in with him and said, "You're free to do what you would like with it." And so Lyon did purchase the stela, and here it is in our museum today.